Truth and Light Soul Tribe family, it is I, Psychic Herbal Goddess, and I'm here with a healing message for humanity. Today's video is titled, Stop That Toxic Shit. Okay, stop that toxic shit. And why I'm making this video is because it needs to be said. Nobody's saying it. I mean, some people are saying it, but not enough people are saying it, and not enough people are hearing it or adhering to the message. So I'm going to try to relay this message in a way that I think will be receptive to people, that you can receive the message, okay? So the world would appear to be in a state of chaos right now. Spiritually, energetically, physically, what we can see, hear, and feel, and what we cannot see, hear, and feel, what we understand, and what we do not understand. Okay, and so I'm going to try to shed some light on why and how so many people choose the toxic route. Okay, you don't have to be toxic. I don't have to be toxic. We don't have to be toxic. People are choosing toxicity. Why? Oh, there are many, many, many reasons. But the main, or one of the most important explanations that I'm going to share today is a little popular phenomenon called cognitive dissonance. What is cognitive dissonance? What does that mean? This refers to when the truth, sometimes the truth is so triggering, and I mean it's so very triggering, that a person will consciously decide to deny or neglect the truth. I mean, to a fault, to a point where a person will hear the truth and say, oh no, I mean, like that's too complicated. Because that's the thing about the truth. It's like when you hear it, it resonates with your spirit. It resonates with your spirit, you know? And so sometimes people say, no, that's too triggering. That's too triggering. I don't want to accept that truth, that inalienable truth. And so people will just enter into a state of denial because it's so difficult for them to accept the truth. And so now, here we have a conflict between your ego and your spirit, because spirit says, no, hey, listen, I know this is tough. I know that it made some connections in your brain, or it triggered you, or opened some doors to some past trauma, or it's causing you to feel discomfort. It's causing you to have to change, move out of your comfort zone. It's causing you to have to change. But hey, we can get through this. Let's get through this together. Spirit saying, hey, let's get through this together. Let's meditate, let's journal, let's do the work. Ego saying, do the work. No, I mean, listen, how we would think things were working just fine for us the way we were doing them before. There's no need to have to, there's no need to get your feathers ruffled. There's no need to get all confused or to make things more complicated. Let's put that to the side. Let's put that to the side. Better yet, let's ignore it. Better yet, let's deny it. And people enter into a state of denial. Okay, and so when you have that conflict between spirit and ego, and you empower ego instead of empowering spirit, not maintaining the proper balance between the two, then you start to ooze toxicity. You become a toxic person. Because understand that you can try to deny the truth all that you want to, but there's a little voice in the back of your head. Some people refer to it as their conscious, but I will always acknowledge it as spirit, or your higher state of consciousness. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. No matter how ruthless, how toxic, or how good you think you may be at being bad, you cannot silence your consciousness. And you will forever dwell in a state of misery until you make the decision to make those changes, that's been enlightened to you. So, I mean, toxicity, it's a worldwide global phenomenon. And it's it's just not necessary for the world to be in in a state of just total freaking toxicity and chaos. Not necessary. So for me personally, I have had to accept some truths that made me very uncomfortable. And of course, I too have suffered from cognitive dissonance before. But I was willing, and this is the thing too, is you can only put on that facade for only so long until the tower comes down. Okay, the tower is going to come down because you're building your foundation on toxicity and ego and lies and cognitive dissonance. That's not a stable foundation. That's not sturdy. That's not something that you can stand on or build on. You understand? So, I mean, it's not healthy to be toxic. It's not healthy to hold on to toxic behavior, habits, thoughts, emotions, or actions. It's not healthy. And you will literally make yourself sick, whether it will manifest in the form of a physical disease or a mental disease. Either which way, you will suffer. You will suffer. So please, family, stop that toxic shit. Okay? If you know you're wrong, try to do your best to admit that you're wrong. And if you're face to face with a person who is calling you out and you feel uncomfortable and, ego overpowers you and, wants to strike back at that person and deny the truth and enter to that state of denial and deny the truth, fine, okay. However that situation plays out, let it play out. But when you get into a space, when you're alone, try to at least be truthful with yourself. Say, damn, so-and-so really pulled my card back there. It caught me off guard. I know I didn't respond or react in the right way, but, that person was right. You have to ask yourself, if somebody makes an accusation or pulls your card, you have to stop, take a minute and think to yourself, like, is that true? Is any of this true? Is anything this person said to me factual or truthful? You understand? And ponder that. And the stuff that is factual or truthful, explore that. Okay, yeah, maybe I was wrong when I did that. So, I mean, I didn't like it when a person pulled my card, so maybe I should try to behave in a certain type of way where people won't have to pull my card. Or at least if someone does have to pull my card, I won't be triggered by it because I've already made peace with that situation. See, a person can only make you insecure about something a person can only make you feel insecure about something that you haven't healed from or that you haven't acknowledged about yourself or something that you try to push into the closet, those demons that you try to push into the closet. But let me tell you something. You cannot hide the demons in the closet. You cannot push the demons in the closet but so long because they will rear their ugly head. Better yet, why don't you confront those demons and kick them out the house? Hey, demons. Yeah, I was trifling the shit when I was I know yeah, me and you had our little thing, we was on the same accord at one point in time in life. But I don't get down like that no more. I'm acknowledging what I did wrong. I'm acknowledging that was some trifling shit. And I'm working double, triple overtime not to embody that demonic energy anymore. So you got to get your ass up out this closet and up out this house, honey. Do some sage yourself, forgive yourself, honey, and go and continue on about your life. But do understand that choosing toxicity is choosing your own demise. It's choosing your own misery. And also do understand that maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, toxicity may have reigned Even today, it may appear like toxicity reigns, but it does not. It's a new time and a new age, and the old way of thinking and the old way of doing things will no longer be sufficient. Understand what I'm saying? So, key points from this video. First of all, stop that toxic shit. You know what it is. You know what it is. So stop what you're doing. Okay? Point number 2. Okay? Heal yourself. This is why we have to do introspection. We have to do the work. You have to make a list of things, all the trifling things that you have done, and work yourself through it. Say, okay, I did da 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 da. That it makes me feel really bad when I think about that. It triggers me. It makes me feel triggered when I think about this. But guess what? If you heal and do the work, spend time in that scenario. Go back to that scenario. Close your eyes or open your eyes. But go back to that scenario and speak to yourself. Catch up with yourself right before or right after you did that trifling thing. Close your eyes. You go back in time. Catch up to yourself and say, hey, listen, you're going to regret that. That's going to make you feel really, really bad moving forward. You know, it's nothing that it happened, you did it. It's nothing that you can do. But try to make peace with the situation now. Just try to make peace with it. And you can make peace with it. How can you make peace with it? It may take time, but you got to find a way to forgive yourself. You got to find a way to forgive yourself. Okay? So you're not embodying toxicity and misery. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sure that you do. Okay, so I'm trying to keep my videos short and sweet. Really trying to keep them 10 minutes or less. I'm already at the 12-minute, almost at the 12-minute mark. So, family, this video is just to encourage people to do some healing. And listen, acknowledge that trifling shit that you did. Acknowledge it internally. When you're by yourself, you don't have to acknowledge it when you face to face with a person pulling your card. You don't have to attack that person either. If it's triggering you on the inside, maintain your composure until you get somewhere alone by yourself. Then release those emotions. Then release that energy. Cuss that person out. They're not sitting right there, but cuss that person out. Then ask yourself, why was I so triggered? How did I allow another human being who bleeds just like I bleed, who eats and drinks and goes number 2 and number 2 and number 1 and number 2, just like I do, how did I allow that person to trigger me? You know why? It's because you're not healed. You know why? It's because you know that it's true. You know why? It's because you've entered into a state of denial and cognitive dissonance, and you've chosen toxicity over healing. So now it's time to choose healing over toxicity. Why are people so toxic? Because they have not healed. Because they have not forgiven themselves or whoever hurt them, or forgiven themselves for allowing somebody to hurt them. And so, family, I'm making this video because I want to see the world healed. I want to see people healed and not so easily triggered. If you have to get a therapist, get a therapist. If you feel uncomfortable getting a therapist, get a journal and a pen and write down all the things that you've done or about yourself that have triggered you. If you feel a fear, a person bringing something up to you about yourself, you have to acknowledge that before a person even has the opportunity to try to throw something in your face or pull your card. You have to acknowledge that beforehand and forgive yourself and heal. So when a person tries to throw it in your face or pull your card, you can smile. You can smile because I'm so glad I've done the work to heal from that scenario. I would have been highly bothered, honey. Come join the unbothered community. Come join the unbothered community. And we are unbothered. Why? Because we are healing. We make healing a priority over here at the Psychic Herbal Goddess Dynasty. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me any questions. Leave them in the comments. Like this comment, share it with somebody who you know can benefit from this message, okay? Until next time, peace, love, truth, light, and healing, Soul Tribe family. I love y'all.